All right, today we're going to dive into something I'm calling the Gatsby Quandary. It's this really fascinating case study about a one-of-a-kind business that is quite literally fighting for its soul. And just like in the novel, the story really makes you ask a tough question. In a world full of imitations and just immense pressure, what does it actually mean to be authentic? And what's the real cost of protecting that? So this is the motto of Vintage Vibe Boutique, but it's so much more than just a catchy tagline, right? It's an invitation. It promises you a trip back in time, an escape into the glamour and the stories of the past. It just perfectly nails the magic that they're selling. But as you can probably guess, behind those velvet curtains and all those sparkling chandeliers, things are not quite as perfect as they seem. That charming world of nostalgia, it's now under attack, and it's putting the brand's very survival on the line. To really get the crisis, we first have to understand what makes Vintage Vibe so incredibly special. You gotta remember, this isn't just another store. It's a whole world, carefully crafted out of a deep passion for history you can actually wear. So what is it they actually do? Well, think of them as curators of history. They find, they restore, and then they rent out these genuine, high-end fashion pieces. We're talking everything from the roaring 20s all the way up to the super vibrant 80s. These are the real deal, pieces with actual stories attached to them. And how they built their brand is absolutely key here. It's not just about the clothes, it's the whole experience. I mean, imagine getting a personalized styling session in a hidden speakeasy-themed room, or having your perfect disco-era outfit delivered white glove service right to your event. This kind of stuff is exactly what built them such a fiercely loyal following. And if you boil it all down, everything, it's all built on one single powerful word: authenticity. This is their core promise. Every single thread, every button, is a piece of genuine history. It's the absolute foundation of their business. But it's also their greatest vulnerability. And that vulnerability, well, that brings us right to the crisis. See, Vintage Vibe isn't just facing one problem. Nope. It's fighting a war on 4 separate fronts at the same time. This is a brand that is truly under siege. First up, you've got the imitators. There's an online competitor just churning out cheap knockoffs, flooding the market. This is a direct attack on their core promise of authenticity, and it just confuses customers and cheapens the value of the real thing. Then there's the corporate predator. A much larger company sees their success, and they want a piece of it. And this isn't some friendly offer. It's a hostile takeover bid that threatens to just swallow their unique identity whole and turn their passion into just another line on a spreadsheet. The third threat, it actually comes from within, a really damaging product mishap. Now, whether a priceless garment got damaged or a customer had a terrible experience, it doesn't matter. It created a crisis of trust, and it shook the faith of that loyal base they worked so hard to build. And finally, good old bureaucracy. A tangled mess of new import regulations is making it way harder and way more expensive to source their unique garments from all over the world. This basically chokes off their supply of the very thing they sell: authentic history. So with attacks coming from every single direction, the company is getting forced into a corner. And this is way more than just a business problem. It's an identity crisis. They have to make a choice about who they really are and what they're willing to become. And this all leads to the central question of this whole case. In a world that's just swimming in fakes, corporate giants, and logistical nightmares, how can a brand that's built on being special and authentic actually survive? And here's the really cruel irony of their whole situation. Every single one of their greatest strengths has become a target. Their deep commitment to authenticity, well, that's exactly what the counterfeiters are attacking. Their unique experiential model is being threatened by a mass market that wants to commoditize everything. And their amazing, one-of-a-kind inventory is getting blocked by regulations. So here they are, standing at a crossroads, and the path they choose next isn't just going to determine if they survive, but what their identity will be for years to come. So, what's the right move? I mean, this is the classic business dilemma, but just amplified, turned up to 11. How do you secure your financial future without sacrificing the soul of the company, the very passion that made you successful in the first place? Okay, so let's zoom out for a second, because this isn't just one company's story. Figuring out how to navigate this strategic labyrinth, well, it holds some incredibly powerful lessons for any business that's trying to build a meaningful brand today. We can basically distill their entire challenge down into 3 critical questions any brand should be asking itself. First, what are your non-negotiables? For Vintage Vibe, it's authenticity. What's yours? Second, what is your real competitive moat? Is it your experience, your quality, your community? And third, when you look at growing, which paths are actually going to reinforce who you are, and which ones are just going to water you down? At the end of the day, this case shows us something so vital. In a world that's just full of noise and imitation, having a strong, authentic identity isn't a liability. It's your single most valuable asset. The real challenge is just having the courage to protect it. And that really leaves us with one final provocative thought. When the pressure is on and the stakes are this high, every leader and every business has to answer this question. In the fight to survive, what are you willing to give up? And maybe more importantly, what will you refuse to sell at any price?